Okay, pretty decent team. See what this dragon is. See what this dragon is. Oh, I don't want to hear myself on stream. Physical moves going up would be decent. What is this dragon type we are up against today? Hey, Artist Synth! These roars are so loud. How are you doing? Have anything decent for Tarantum? Not really. Night Slash. 70 could be more easily crit. 70 could be more easily crit. Ah, Night Slash makes sense. Hey, Gumba Master! How am I doing? I'm doing pretty decent today. There's no easy way to word this. Very autistic today. The tism is running amok. But for my birthday, that's been pretty chill. I got some gifts. I've eaten a lot of junk food. Got some work done. I finished writing my accessibility review for Ghost of Yote today. That'll be up in like 10 days, like a week and a half. It was honestly just a pretty chill day of... I got my work done, but I also tried to enjoy the fact that I'm yet older. I continue to age. I've done another trip around the sun, and I'm definitely mid-30s rather than early 30s now. Oh, thank you for the happy birthday wish, Gumba. It's been a nice, if unexpected, birthday so far. Oh, hey, the BT, thank you very much for the sub. Happy birthday, have a beer on me with this much sub. Oh, thank you. Lauren says that, Lauren yelling at me says that flying squirrel Pokemon is adorable and I would commit murder for them, no questions asked. Yeah, it's a Mulga. A Mulga is one of my favorite Pikachu clones. Like, it's not that Pikachu-ish at this point, but it's my favorite of the every generation has to have an electric rodent Pokemon that they've done. I think it's my best electric rodent one. Natling, it is my birthday today, yeah. It is my 34th birthday. I am 34 today. Is this one where you can't see if it's shiny until after the battle? Yeah, I have to battle all the way through all of the fights, including the legendary, to then find out if any of the fights were shiny. Yeah, I'm 34 today. I have to get a new shiny Pokemon for your birthday. If I could find this shiny Tapu Fini I'm looking for, if I could find that today, that'd be a pretty good day, honestly. Yes, it's been an interesting birthday. Talking a little bit about how my birthday's gone. You know, I put my life out on the internet for content, as it were. My biological dad, not really been in the picture for the best part of a decade for me. For various reasons, he started getting in contact again this year. And I was like, you know, I'll be a little cautious, you know. Be wary, because history. It seems to have been alright. For the first time in about 10 years, my biological dad sent me a birthday gift this year. Which, honestly, I didn't know how to process that. That sure was a one. It was very sweet. I had a real moment of I don't know how to process. I don't know how to process him being nice to me. That's birthday things. My lovely wife Jane got me a year of unlimited cinema at our local cinema, so I can continue to go see films as and when I please, which has been a really... I think this is the 3rd year that Jane has done that for my birthday, and it's been really nice to have a birthday gift that, like, tangibly exists throughout the whole year. It's been very nice. Like, every time I go see a film, I can be like, oh, Jane did that. And my mum got me a very lovely birthday gift. My mum is aware I've been going to Bridge Command a lot recently. The go pretend to be in a Star Trek thing that I've been doing. She gifted me a couple of vouchers to either go a couple of times myself or me and Jane to go together. And I promised her, I was like, I'll send you a little captain's log report of how the mission goes. Honestly, a pretty good birthday. As far as birthdays could go, it was that plus eating like an entire pizza and several cookies and some cinnamon buns. Saw some friends for board games yesterday. That was very nice. A couple of local board game friends gave me a wonderful board game about stealing art back from... They're called the White Hand, but it's very clearly the British colonialism, and the British Museum is very clearly the enemy, and it's great. Espequen, yeah, okay, this is a pretty good looking team for the Tapu Fini fight. Gumba says, I've been happy seeing new Homestuck readers turning up, and since they haven't seen the other kids, they made fan designs for them. And they've been making fan art of the fan design. Oh, that's nice. I also... Here's a little teaser for this week's Podquisition. My friends who came to visit yesterday to play board games, they also brought something very special that I will best... I'm going to give you, like, the 4-word description, maybe, and then not explain until it turns up on Podquisition this week. Solar-powered cult sunflower. I now possess something best described as a solar-powered cult sunflower, and I'm very excited to make that a focal point of Podquisition this week. It sure does convert sunlight into cult prayers. Okay, I've got grass, poison, and electric types, which is basically what I need to take out Tapu Fini. A cult sunflower. Like, one of those yellow flowers with the petals and the, like, big brown polleny bit in the middle. A sunflower. But it's solar-powered, and it maybe recites prayers from a cult leader. It's maybe the most fascinating piece of propaganda I've ever owned. Okay, we can have, I think, 2 knockouts before we lose. Okay, I don't have same type of, I don't have stat, I don't have same type attack bonus, which is not ideal. No, don't use swagger. I know that in like 3 turns it'll confuse itself. A fight with a raid boss isn't gonna last that many rounds, I don't think. I think it's very unwise to use swagger in a raid battle. Why am I now picturing a Plants vs. Zombies Cult of the Lamb crossover? Because No, you're not wrong to picture that. Okay, the shark goes down. I don't think we're going to take out the Tapu Fini on this. Yeah, we can't afford another knockout. Vespiquen, why are you spamming Swagger? This Vespiquen NPC character is 100% the reason we're going to lose this attempt. Don't keep raising Tapu Fini's bloody attack stat. Oh, Kavelstrom, thank you very much for the happy birthday wishes. Hell up. Yeah, we failed. Vespiquen, why did you raise Tapu Fini's attack 3 rounds in a row, rather than using any of your fucking attacks? Okay, are any of these shiny? No, I don't believe they are. I'm double and triple checking because I'm paranoid. No, okay. Well, didn't get to shiny roll the Tapu Fini, but we're gonna give it another go. Oh, I was a bit bummed out about Pokemon Legends ZA a couple of days ago, and it turns out I didn't need to be. The short version, Cerebi put out a post on like Twitter and Blue Sky, implying that Pokemon caught in Legends ZA wouldn't be able to move to Pokemon Home or any other games, which isn't really the case. Like, what seems to be happening is Legends ZA is effectively the start of Gen 10, in that they're doing the thing they've done a few times before, where once a Pokemon moves into, like, essentially a Gen 10 title, it won't be able to move back to Gen 9, but you can move it into Home, and it'll be movable into, say, Champions, or whenever Gen 10 eventually releases, and stuff from Prio's Gen can forward. So, oh, I should be looking. I want grass. Let's go this way. So, like, I previously, the way I'd been, that Cerebi's post made it sound was like shiny hunting in Legends ZA was pointless because Pokemon that are that I shiny hunt in ZA would never be able to be used in any other games. No, they'll move to Home and they'll eventually move to Gen 10. Definitely max Hailstorm for now. Gumbo Master says I've gotten like halfway through Silksong. Congrats! I'm slowly chipping away at it. I know I've not been streaming it, and I've not got back to zero streaming. I'm just having a real... I think it's because the rain and the darkened evenings have started. Winter has started to happen, and my body has gone, quick, defend yourself. Repeatedly do autism stuff. As I occasionally do. But I have been chipping away at Silksong, having a very good time with it. I think the big reason I've not been playing more Silksong, other than the autistic urge to shiny hunt returning, is, again, I can't give opinions on it yet. I can say I have been working on my review of Ghost of Yote. I finished my accessibility review today. In fact, Jane is downstairs editing the AA episode about it, even though we're like a week and a half away from the embargo lifting. But I have sunk a good number of days into Ghost of Yote that would have otherwise been my Silksong time. As I've said many a time, it's the double-edged sword about doing this as a job is... There could be something exciting like Silksong finally comes out and it's like, yeah, but I've got like a work deadline over here, so I'll get back to that game in a bit. I'm probably going to be rocking a bit today on stream. I've been doing a lot of rocking back and forth. It's been a while since I've had like a real spell of physical rocking. Don't know for certain what it is, but last like 2 or 3 days have been very rocky. I'm very pleased to see that Lego playing as Lego Pips 2-player co-op game seems to be reviewing really well. I'm always on the lookout for good co-op things to play with Jane, and that looked cute and was Lego based and seems to have reviewed well, so that's positive. Although I did see a fascinating thing in the world of, I saw a fascinating thing in the world of game reviews today, which was, DualShockers accidentally posted their Silent Hill F review early. And what seems to have happened is they have a new first-time reviewer on their team who clearly does not know much about the job of video game reviews before starting reviewing for a site that people have heard of. Because they just posted their review like a week and a half, 2 weeks ahead of embargo. And started posting it to a bunch of Silent Hill message boards. What seems to have happened is they misunderstood the word embargo, not as like you can't post it until this date and time. They understood it as like, oh, the embargo's then, so I've got to finish my review before then. Like any time before then that I finish my review is good. So they finished it and just posted it, which either says a failing about like DualShockers' vetting of who they're hiring or their training of who they're hiring. Because somewhere along the line, they managed to have a person in a staff position handling a pretty high-profile game who did not know about the concept of embargoes, and when they saw the word embargo, didn't think to Google it. So that is, that sure is a thing that happened. Nothing says there may be something wrong with me. The dark afternoons make me feel so cozy and protected. I have 5 mood lights going and 2 blankets deployed. The ocean's nice and cool. I love, in theory, a cold, wintry day, cozy up inside. But as I've gotten older, I have required daylight lamps to keep me from, like, going into depression during the winter. But even beyond that, I want that grass type. The TISM has gone, this is different. Because while I love being inside on a rainy day, being outside in the rain makes my clothes wet, makes my clothes stick to me, which is bad autistic sensory. Which means when it starts like raining really regularly, I do feel a little bit trapped inside by the fact that I'm like, if I go outside, it's going to be bad sensory, so I don't really have the option to go outside. And therefore, also, it's not the weather it was. Change of routine. Give it a couple of weeks, I will have settled into winter mode, but initially when winter hits, the TISM goes a little wild. Gosh, yes, Hades 2 1.0 is so close. Natalie says that it's both sweet and makes both skin crawls. That could be me. Seems like there should be an editor in charge of confirming before an embargoed review goes live. Who knows what their CMS is like. I am surprised there is no one, at the very least, that they didn't have a system in place to go, when you finish your review, send it to one of the other editors to give it a proofread. Because, like, I've been in editorial positions where I could just post things straight to the main site. Like, when I was UK editor at Destructoid, I had the ability to post stuff, just, I could hit a button and it goes live, because I was doing the morning news shifts. But anything that was like a review or anything important, I would save as a draft and send an email to one of the other editors to get them to give it a set of eyes over. But like when I was at Kotaku, when I was at Kotaku, I was in an editorial position. I didn't even have the ability to hit the go live button. I had to save things as a draft and be like, okay, editor, you hit live when you're happy with it. The idea that someone fresh at a site with a big review would have the ability to press the publish button and not be told there is a process by which you get it checked over by an editor and they will hit publish. It's like something went real wrong in the system there. Rule Spider says autumn is good when it sticks to just being windy with fallen leaves flying about. That's the thing. If it had gone from summer to autumn, I'd be very okay with it. It skipped over to winter, or at least it felt like it did. It went dark and lots of rain very quickly. I'm like, we skipped a season, that's not okay. It's like, cold but dry is great. Just don't like the wet bit. Okay, we have Vileplume. I'm hoping that Mudsdale... I was hoping the Mudsdale would take it, but... That's a Kangaskhan. If I get the ghost type, I'll at least get the berries first. State Nobody says, I live in upstate New York, so here rain means you're cold, but I've experienced warm tropical rain. It's a completely different experience. Warm tropical rain really isn't so bad. It is the cold rain that I don't like. Or that I have the biggest problem with, at least. Abomaslow's pretty slow. I could probably double damage of this. I want to go into the next fight with full health if I can. I want to go in, I want to try and Dynamax when I get into the next fight. So I'm not going to Dynamax now so that I have the best chance of Dynamaxing on like turn 1 or 2 of the legendary fight. Will Spider says, over here in northern France, Zeus felt like testing out his shiny new Thunderclap toys over our heads. No water per se, but goddamn, it did not stop thundering. Ooh, spooky. Okay, can we get this Dust Block down to 50% health in a round? I'll say nobody. There are definitely scenarios in which I could enjoy Cold Dark Rain, but they're certainly not the norm, I'll say that. Hey Nate Hodge, how you doing? We are shiny hunting Tapu Fini? Tapu Fini. One of like 9 legendaries I need to shiny hunt before Legend ZA comes out, which is when I'm going to start shiny hunting the remaining handful of Gen 5 Pokemon that I need. Plus presumably a couple of regional variants as well. Gosh, I am so ready for a new Pokemon game. I'm very excited for real-time Pokemon battles outside of the context of Pokken Tournament. Sort of real-time turn-based is what ZA seems to be. That sort of Final Fantasy VII Remake style. I'm very into that. Nate says, nice, I'm hunting Zygarde right now. Ooh, nice. Yeah, let's catch this anyway. I don't need any of the non-legendaries in this, so in theory I could just not catch them. But given their 100% catch rate and worst case scenario, I get some additional shinies. Like, the worst thing that happens here is I get some duplicate shinies I didn't need. I will never say no to having some duplicates. Replace the Mudsdale? Nope, you replace the one good fucking grass type. I don't like doing Dynamax Adventures shiny hunting, I'm realizing. The more time I put into this, the more frustrated I get as these NPC trainers do not, like, hold on to Pokemon that are bad type matchups and throw away Pokemon that are good type matchups for seemingly no reason. Like, I cannot rely on these Pokemon these trainers to pick a good team. Like, realistically, I need to be doing these in multiplayer, but no one's shiny hunting Tapu Fini in online Dynamax Adventures in Sword and Shield. You know. Okay, we did get to start the battle with us on Dynamax, because none of the other trainers are going to Dynamax. That's good. That's about as good a start as we could have had. What is my health like on Abomasnow? I forgot to pay attention to the health when we got Max. The higher okay, pretty close to full. We made pretty well out of the health boost. Come on, Max Overgrowth. I need you to be my big damage dealer. Okay, maybe like a fifth of the health. What else have we got that can deal decent damage on this team? Superpower's gonna do basically nothing, and it's only gonna get worse, because your attack's gonna fall. I found that most Dynamax adventures are easy so long as you don't pick what's weak, unless you're facing Zygarde or a few others. I don't know, occasionally you get one like this where we're going up against a Water Fairy type with a, a ground type, a steel type, and a ghost type, which is, like, not the worst. You know, it's not like we've got a... Well, I say it's not like we've got a fire type in here. We've got a ground type that could get hit by Surf pretty terribly. But it also means that, like, we have nothing that's dealing particularly effective damage, which means the fights are going to go on longer, which is a bigger risk of running out. Raw Spider says, Pokemon-wise, I'm still waiting on a Let's Go version of Gen 2, so I can't help with shiny hunting and Sword and Shield. I know it's not a popular opinion, but I would have loved a Let's Go Johto. I'd be very open to that. I don't think it's going to happen, but I would have been very open to Let's Go Johto. Maybe make it so you can do non-motion controls in docked mode, you know, for accessibility, but... Okay, honestly, we're doing alright. We're mostly doing okay because Tapu Fini hasn't been targeting Max Geyser at... Oh. Okay. I was going to say at Mudsdale. Like, I really expected her to just, like, Max Geyser every turn on Mudsdale. Oh, didn't take out the Cockroacha. Genuinely surprised. I impressed you held on there. You're going to die to the Whirlpool this turn anyway, but, like, you might get an attack out before you get Whirlpooled. Yeah, you got out a Flash Cannon. You know what? Well done. I wish it would show the hearts in the top left so I could see at a glance, because I have terrible memory, where we were at in terms of the number of knockouts left. Oh, you didn't even... You got healed. You, I don't think, got killed by the Whirlpool. Okay. Okay, it did. I thought for a second the heal was going to be enough to prevent the Whirlpool death. Oh, okay, we're fine. We have run out of Dynamax, which is not ideal. But, as long as we can get something quick in, we should be good. Oh, Grassy Terrain, I think, is still active. So this should go first. There we go. Honestly, dropping out of Dynamax really kind of helped us there. Okay. Let's find out once again, is this a shiny Tapu Fini? We've collected 7 shinies on the road to trying to get this shiny Tapu Fini. Will the Tapu Fini happen today? Okay, not a shiny Stunfisk or a Vileplume or a Dusclops. No, I'm going to double check the summary just because I don't want to make a foolish mistake. No shinies, no. Well, let's give it another go. Let's run back around. Tapu Fini's a really easy shiny to recognize because all of the purple that makes up a lot of the design all just turns jet black. A lot of the Tapus have this design aesthetic. They take whatever the accent color is, remove it, and just turn them all black, which is pretty aesthetically cool. Nothing great to start. I want grass types, I want electric types, I want poison types. We'll take this, it's got a ground type move, which would be good for defeating an electric type to put on the team. Saint Nobody says, is this a full-old shiny hunt or are there bonuses? So I have the shiny charm in Sword and Shield. Plus Dynamax Adventures, like this mode, has boosted shiny odds on top of that. Sorry, let me just plan my route quickly. Okay, we'll go for the 2 electrics and we'll work out what to go for after there. So I believe the shiny odds in here of any particular Pokemon being shiny is 1 in 100. So in theory, around 100 successful, I got as far as the legendary and beat it. Roughly, so I'm gonna do roughly 400 raid battles to get 1 shiny legendary, and that's if I every time make it all the way through to the 4th battle and beat the legendary. It's still better odds than a lot of shiny hunting methods, but it's not necessarily quicker. I'm doing it because I'm doing it this way because I've never really committed to shiny hunting. Like, doing dedicated shiny hunting Dynamax adventures, it's one of the few methods I didn't really give that much time. And I want to at least successfully hunt 1 or 2 legendaries this way, just so I can have a fair feeling of where this stacks in my shiny hunting methods. Ooh, that was rough. A net trick. Oh, damn. Tara says, I'm so glad that Doc Hop's date with insert name here is going well. Talking about Dice Funk. I really appreciate Hop's attention to make sure she is talking about insert special interest here. She is so sweet and very smart. It's been a very silly journey playing this, For anyone who's not listening to Dice Funk this season, here's a preview of how this story's going. I'm playing a dragon who haunts trash, who maybe became a very special kind of dragon recently through occurrences, and is currently trying to date 2 very tall blue women of various species, one tall blue genie and one other tall blue lady. And they both wanted to go on a date with my trash-loving dragon, so as a compromise, I am currently on a date with a goblin painted blue on very tall stilts, whose memory we are going to erase and give to both of the people I would have dated, so they can both have the memory of having gone on the date, despite having not gone on the date. So I'm currently dating a blue goblin on stilts and pretending trying to be generic enough that it could be a date for either of the 2 tall blue women. That's how Dice Funk is going currently. I love playing in a very serious Dungeons & Dragons game. Okay. What do I currently have? I currently have a ground type on not great health. I should swap out for the Manectric. Guarantee having it on my team. It's pretty strong. I have had more knockouts at this point than I would really like to have had this early. I don't know if I get any of these hearts back as I progress through. We have an Electabuzz on the team. Talonflame really needs to be replaced. Ideally, because water type's not going to be a good... Not going to be a good pick. Okay, do I have anything good for taking the Jolteon down? It's going to have to be Psychic Fangs. Ooh, good pick on the wide guard, Mantine. Well read. Ooh. That Volt Absorb is not doing us any favors. Hey, Unit 27. Okay, Jolteon, you're at least not using electric attacks against it. That's progress. Mantine, you using Dive is honestly the best thing you could have done, I think. In as much as it leads to one turn in which you're not just going to take an electric attack and insta-die. I don't think there's anything more helpful than Helping Hand that Electabuzz could have done, I guess. It feels a waste to use Dynamax in a fight like this, but I think it's realistically the hope we have. At least if I use this, it's going to intensify the sun, which will help Talonflame out. What I really need is for the Talonflame NPC to swap out with this Jolteon when offered. Ooh, Helping Hand into the Dynamax. Good work, thank you, Electabuzz. Yeah, one more time we'll have it done. What I realistically want is to get a heal on the team before we progress further. We've got one more battle before the Tapu Fini. Not really anything else on the board I want. What I should do is make sure that I don't encounter something that I actively don't want on the team. That Tapu Fini would be particularly effective against. But if we can get this Talonflame swapped out, we might be okay. Okay, routing's going to be important in a minute. Raw Spider says, a friend of mine working for the infrastructure of a website specialized in mature hobbies, shall we, just texted me. After I explained what Kosor wants me to do to be considered compliant all day, boss just texted me, forget about it, that's too much nonsense. You're alone running our web shop, that's already stressful enough as it is, screw this nonsense. This is how I learned my boss is actually a real good mean. Oh! I'm glad to hear you have a boss that is willing to go, nah, fuck the rules, fuck, like, what the paperwork says you should be doing. That does not make sense in this scenario. Do the thing that makes more sense. That's decent. Glad to hear. Come on, Catherine. Yeah, Catherine took the Jolteon. If Nikki wants to swap out for a grass type or a poison type. Okay, Morpeko's not terrible. Of these choices, the water type would be the least bad to have. And we can get items here. Make super effective moves stronger would be good, because we're hoping to just spam super effectives on the Tapu Fini. Barbaracle. You're a water and a rock type, which means the electric moves are fine? Yeah, okay. Rising voltage. That's okay. Why would you Helping Hand the Morpeko? Helping Hand me! I'm the lightning rod right now. Okay, we did almost take half of the Barbaracle out in a single attack. That's actually pretty good. Yeah, why keep using Helping Hand on the Pokemon that's clearly going to use an electric attack, which is going to get lightning rodded to me, and I'll do higher damage. Which, like, me doing higher damage is great, but... like, Helping Hand the person who's ultimately going to receive who's going to be dealing the damage attack. Helping Hands into a move that's going to be a support move. And this Morpeko clearly just is going to ultimately be a support Morpeko. Not an ideal number of knockouts to have going into this, but... Okay. We're just gonna have to be real full-on with the Tapu Fini. Nikki, take the Barbackle. I mean, it's fine, but like the Electabuzz was better. Okay. Can we deal enough damage quickly enough to get through it? If the Morpeko wants to keep doing electric attacks to like boost up my electric attack damage, that's probably not the worst thing. Out of curiosity, rising voltage. Okay. If Lightning Rod could improve my special attack rather than regular attack, that would have been ideal, but we're gonna make do. Okay. How big is this super effective max lightning going to be? Ooh, like 3 of those will pretty much do it. We have lightning terrain up. If I can stay alive and long enough to do 3 of those strikes, that's going to be real good. Poison jab. Okay, okay. The hamster got angry. Oh, you inflicted poison. That's pretty decent. Lightning Rod is probably actively fucking me up here, but... or not. That was pretty good. Okay, is it a shiny Tapu Fini? How will our luck be on this day? No way to know if you are shiny until this moment. Okay, Manectric, not shiny, Jolteon, not shiny, Barbackle, not shiny, I don't think. Definitely not a shiny Tapu Fini. Yeah, so all of this purple will be black on the shiny one. It'll be very easy to tell if we've got the shiny. We are just looking for... this one's goth cousin. Yeah, we're not taking it home because then we can't Dynamax Adventure it again if we do. You can't know if they're shiny before you catch them? No. So the way that Dynamax Adventures works is they don't do the roll to find out if they're going to be shiny until that screen is coming up. When you're fighting them in the Dynamax Adventure raids, there's no way to do, like, RNG manipulation or, like, check your RNGC to work out if they'll be shiny. They run a separate cryptographic key for, is this shiny? at the end of the complete set of 4 runs. So I won't know if it's shiny until I've beaten all 4 and then looked at the 4 of them for shininess. Bolton's pretty good. Come on, Skeptile, yep. Poltegeist. Okay, we have an electric type and 2 grass types. That's a pretty good spread. What I maybe do here... What is the electric type up top? I can't tell. What I could just do is head for the electric type and I call dibs on every Pokemon that we pass and put it in my slot. Like, I'd be giving up the Boltund, but I'd be making sure that none of these 3 NPCs picked up a really shitty Pokemon that they shouldn't. Like, that neither of the grass type NPCs replaces their grass type with something not super effective on Tapu Fini. Like, if I take Munchlax, I take whatever's next, and then I take the electric type, we'll have an electric and 2 grass. Guaranteed going into the Tapu Fini encounter, which is probably the way to game the system here. And it's weird, because in normal raid battles outside of Dynamax Adventures, if you're just doing a regular raid, you can see shiny status inside the raid. In regular raids in Sword and Shield, I believe, you can see shiny raid encounters as shiny in the raid. It's only for Dynamax Adventures that they make them not visible until afterwards. Which I agree is a weird decision to have made and completely unnecessary. I'm gonna be swapping this out anyway. I can afford to use a max lightning to get that stab damage. Munchlax doesn't cover a Pokemon game I've played yet, but that's the only Pokemon I have a plushie of because he looks cute, too cute left on the store shelf. It's just a little baby Snorlax. It's adorable. It is very Muppet in its design. Kathleen says it's amazing listening to all this. I haven't ever played a Pokemon game, so it's all new to me. No shade against the games, just working out this way. I hope you're finding it interesting hearing the most minutia of the minutia of a series you don't play. Because this is not how most people play Pokemon. Most people do not play Pokemon fighting 4 Pokemon in a row repeatedly to get a 1 in 100 chance of one of them being a different color. That's how I play. Yeah, let's trust the strat. I'm taking the bad Munchlax. For me to then take this flying type. Whatever this item is good. I'm gonna be picking up an electric type at the end, so I'll take leftovers. If there'd been something like Life Orb, I probably would have taken it, given that I'll be picking up the Pokemon I'm gonna use for Tapu Fini right before I use it, so health's gonna be good. I play Skyrim mainly for stealing, and since I can't remember where I've been, I place Wheels of Cheese as a calling card. Aww. Also, Conrad has just Blue Sky posted me, "Stop being so young, Laura." I'm sorry, Conrad, I can't help that I have youth. And simultaneously, I can't help that I feel like I'm getting older. I say this. The group of friends I saw yesterday complained at me for complaining that I was getting older. In that, but both of the friends who I saw yesterday are a decade plus older than me. I have some friends in their 40s, yeah, coming up on 50 maybe. Lovely, wonderful people. But they do, and neither of them seems their age. But it does force me to remember when I say like, oh, I'm getting old, I'm in my mid-30s now. They're like, oh, I wouldn't give to be in my mid-30s. I'm like, yeah, I get it. I am very much the young friend of the group. Ooh, that meteor beam was bloody superb. Yeah, talent points cool. Fans collecting Squirtle, I can appreciate that, and I will say one of the benefits of Dynamax Adventures is because there's 100% catch rate. I could be catching all of these in whatever Pokeball I want, and it would guaranteed catch, which is nice for aesthetic purposes. I've never been a person to oh, fuck, I button mashed. Okay, I guess I have Bright Powder now. I forget what Bright Powder does. What's Bright Powder do? Damn. Lowers the accuracy of opposing Pokemon's moves. Ooh. You know what? I'll take Bright Powder, actually. That's alright. I really want to get a heal on Sceptile if I can. Just gonna have to... I don't think we have anything particularly effective against Heliolisk. My little alien thing, that meteor attack might be decent against Heliolisk. Speed sharpening rose. Okay. Okay, expanding force is pretty good. Do I... No, I don't Dynamax. I want to Dynamax as early as I can in the next fight. Oh, keep spamming agility. You're already faster than any of ours, so if you waste your turns increasing your speed further, that's better for us. Go on, Meteor Beam. Oh, that was really not so bad. Heliolisk. Yeah, you better have... As long as you've got an electric move on you, I think my... Like, Manectric would have been better to hold on to, but I think this is the strat that gives me the most control over what my NPCs end up having. Gives them the fewest chances to fuck up our build. Electro Ball will... We really like to field Sceptile, but I have all of my health, so like if Sceptile gets knocked out, I've still got a couple of knockouts to do. Okay. I feel reasonably confident this is going to be another run that will actually make it to doing a shiny roll on Tapu Fini. Faster the user is than the target. Stronger electrical. Please tell me I move before Tapu Fini, because that will help this electric. Okay, electric ball. Okay, I'm at least faster than Tapu Fini, so it's not getting debuffed. We appear to have made it a full round without Sceptile getting knocked out, which is good. Next round, I will be able to Dynamax. Oh yeah, this is This is very much a very... Yeah, I made the right call on this. That time we knew you were gonna get knocked out. That's super okay. Starfall on Lorantis. Okay. Okay, how quickly can I get a Max Lightning in? I gotta do it before Tapu, before the little alien fucker can get knocked out, because I think if that gets knocked out, I'm down. We've had 2 knockouts. I've not been paying that good attention. Maybe have 1 knockout still in the back pocket. And if I'm still faster than Tapu Fini, we should have this. Yeah. I didn't need to worry about it. You know, I'm weirdly feeling good about this one. What would be a fun ball to catch this in if it was the shiny? If this was the shiny, I have 1 luxury ball. I don't know why I feel like this one. Probably not. 99% chance not. I can catch this one in a different ball. Gave it a try. No shinies yet again. I can show you some of the shinies I have caught while trying to shiny hunt Tapu Fini, just to show that this method can produce shiny Pokemon. What's in the cup? So this not great colored looking liquid is it's like knockoff own brand Lilt. So like orange grapefruit, pineapple-y tropical juice, but it has blueberry flavor popping balls, like bubble tea fruit ball popping balls in it, hence the sort of greenish grayish color it has gone. Weirdly, the flavors do complement decently well. It sure is a mix of some flavors. But yes, the shiny Pokemon I have encountered while trying to find this shiny Tapu Fini are Tyrantum, Drifblim, Nidoqueen, Whimsicott, which looks real cool in shiny, and Diggersby. Not the Xerneas, I got that on an earlier attempt, but 5 of those 6 shinies were found while trying to shiny hunt Tapu Fini, which statistically I should have found a shiny by now. None of these have any good moves. If I want to get... Maybe I take the one that has a fire-type move so that I can take down a grass-type with it. Okay, Magneton's a good pick. Laron's so-so. Flygon is bad because we're going up against a fairy-type, so I'm going to replace at least 2 of my team's Pokemon, plus my own, ideally. Grass... Fighting. Oh, Bug is Vikavolt, and that's an electric type. So we're going to take the Vikavolt. I think the Vikavolt's going to be mine. Okay, we can maybe make a passable team here. Yeah, Grandpa T-Rex with a beard, but shiny means it's blue. Max Flare, we should be able to take this down very quickly. I know we don't have Stab, but should be pretty simple. Come on, Absol. Go decently high in the turn order. Harsh Sunlight will do. Who are you max quaking? Lairon? Lairon's got Sturdy, I assume. Yeah. Okay, if we can get the Lairon replaced ASAP. That'd be great, or if I could get berries in me, that would be great. I think that Lairon's probably going down anyway, so I just need to take that as a given. The heat is up, so maybe we do more damage now. Okay, Mud Slap. Okay, okay. Now, if I could select who got what, I would probably put Vikavolt on the spot of the Lairon player right now, just to avoid them getting knocked out. I don't trust them to take it. And the only thing I can really guarantee is if I take it, I guarantee it gets on the team. I should probably take it rather than risk all of the NPCs for some god-awful reason turning it down. Yeah, I'll take the Vikavolt. Dino or grass type. I think that's an Ivysaur. Ivysaur would be a great addition. Could replace either of the bottom two. For those who were around on stream last week, where we were talking about the Nepal overthrowing its government and burning the houses of the billionaires, that has continued. Nepal elected a new president via Discord poll. There's a real thing that happened. Everyone seems to be happy with the results. It sure seems to be happening. Let me just get the facts of this and make sure I don't mess any of the details up here. Yeah, Nepal's Gen C used gaming app Discord to pick Prime Minister, according to Al Jazeera. A virtual poll on Discord. It was organised by a Gen Z group behind the current political protests happening there. There was a fiery debate that brought together over 10,000 people in Discord. A mirrored live stream with about 6,000 more people watching the debate. Then they held a Discord poll, selecting the 73-year-old former Supreme Court Justice to be Prime Minister. Nepal's first female Prime Minister. She is 73. Yeah, Nepal elected its first female leader in a Discord poll. I was like, I want to double check that I got those specifics right. I wish them luck. I hope that their revolution is sustainable. I would love to see a good example of they overthrew a government and put a good person in place afterwards, and the revolution was televised and went well. Yeah, Nepal's first woman prime minister came out of this election. From what I can tell, seems to have fairly progressive views. Good. Also, honestly, more power to anyone that has the confidence to go for the role of Prime Minister in Nepal right now, given that, like, if they do a bad job, the people of Nepal have shown they're not afraid to burn down Parliament and the houses of the Prime Minister. So, do a good job, I guess. I would be very curious to read how they did things there. How did they verify that the people voting weren't citizens from Nepal? How did they work around the possibility of people creating dummy accounts to vote more than once? Like, I would love to know the specifics of how they held a vote over Discord that seemingly the populace is like, yeah, that feels like a good result. It seems like a mammoth undertaking. Looking for someone for a transition re-government. Let's... yeah, maybe I'm wrong. She campaigned... okay, so the winner of the poll campaigned for an independent judiciary during her tenure as Chief Justice. Jailed a serving Minister of Corruption. Unsuccessfully tried to impeach her... From what I can see, now, from what I can see, she is not a temporary leader. She is the new leader of Nepal. At least that's my understanding. They wanted someone to lead the government to do an actual election. Maybe I'm wrong. From what I'm seeing from a brief look, it seems like she will be ruling until the next election. Seems to be the plan. I might be wrong. Again, correct me if I am wrong. I'm doing my best to pick up what went down over the weekend, but also I didn't stay glued to my phone over the weekend. I enjoyed some pre-birthday not being on the internet, which is nice. We've had 2 knockouts, I think, already, which is not ideal. If I could get Beware to replace Laron, we'd probably be in a good position. Yeah, Beware replaces Laron. She's an interim prime minister according to the internet. Okay, I apologize. The Al Jazeera piece I was reading said she was the prime minister. I did not see the word interim anywhere in that story I was reading, but equally, I'm reading one story of a snapshot from the internet, so either way, good on them. Hope they have a stable situation there for a bit. Wikipedia calls her interim, so I assume that she is. Maybe. Okay, yeah, you replaced the Laron. Okay. Okay. We've not got a great number of getting knocked out opportunities available to us, but all of our typing is pretty solid. If we can deal some quick damage. Like, Beware, I don't have any particularly super effective attacks, but 80 could poison, 65 could paralyze. I think we start with this. Please poison. Okay, you at least attack the one that was already low. I don't think we can afford any more knockouts after this, which is a problem. Any more knockouts and we lose this run. Tapu Fini doesn't know any ground type moves. Magneton, why are you using your move to levitate? It's not going to protect you. Okay, I get Dynamax next turn. And we can start dishing out more substantial... Okay, did less than half, that's good. Okay. I need to Dynamax as quickly as I can. X Salty says, how does it feel to have Sean Astin represent you in SAG? I don't think he represents me in SAG. I'm not a member of SAG-AFTRA. And I'll be honest, I don't follow SAG-AFTRA closely enough to know that Sean Astin is a representative of SAG-AFTRA. I don't know enough to know whether he represents the... Not the same SAG. Okay, what SAG then? Because you're showing the icon that I believe was for the SAG-AFTRA video game voice actor strike. Not the same SAG as you, I meant. I'm not part of any SAG-AFTRA. I'm very unsure what you mean. Oh, for the strike. Okay. Yes. I realized I've not in the YouTube chat taken off the pro strike. SAG-AFTRA the Canadian one? I thought SAG-AFTRA was the United States one. Either way, it's not the UK. Yeah, the SAG-AFTRA strike, good. I support it. It seemingly achieved its aims. Well done. I'm glad it got what the people got, seemingly what they were after. I'm not a member of SAG-AFTRA, so I'm not really sure in what way Sean Astin is representing me. Are any of you shinies? No. Give it another go. I really thought I was going to do it, but I had Dynamax at the wrong time. I really needed to go in with Dynamax on the first or second turn. Tapu Fini. Let's go for it one more time. One more try. One more go. Poison would be good. What else would be good? You have an electric move? I guess for a start that'll do. Digger's Beak could help us get a electric type. Rapion is poison, that's not bad. Okay, nothing great here. What do I pick? What's my routing? Up the top. If this is ideal. Let's go. Oh god, more Steam getting policed into not having adult games. Apparently, games with adult themes are no longer eligible to go into early access. You can't do an early access launch for your game if it's got a titty in it. Or a dong. A vagine. If it has one breast, it does not pass the test. If it has a dong, we'll tell you it's wrong. Don't submit if it's got a willy, that would be silly. If it's got a vagina, you better bet we will find ya. I could go on this all day. If you submit with a boob, you're gonna look like a rube. Nah, that was not my best. If you submit it with fun bags, you won't get an early access tag. Ah, that was stressing. If your game contains nipples, you'll get caught up by the ripples of this ban wave. If your game's got a dick, you'll get the short end of the stick. Look, I feel powerless in this situation, hence me doing this. I don't know what else of use I can do to stop the censoring of sex games on the internet, so I guess all I've got is, if your game's got a phallus, it'll be thrown overboard like a ballast. If there are balls, look forward to recalls. There you go, Natalie. You've got it. Honestly, the biggest issue is me trying to think of more words for parts of the body that have good rhymes. If your game's got a FUD, your Steam will make it a dud. A FUD is not a shortening I've heard before of a part of a body. That's an interesting one. If your game's got some schlong, you're doing it wrong. West Coast Scotland slang for vag. I assumed vag, I just didn't know how to get there. If your game's got balls, it's denied from our halls. If your game has the scrote, up you will be wrote. Scrotum. If your game's got a scrotum, up the river will float him. No. Your game shows some ass for Steam, that's a pass. I didn't think of ass puns, but... If your game's got a butt, sales will be a rut. If there is ass, it shall not pass. If there is ass, it shall not pass. The Veldstrom's trying to get something out of Minge and Binge. Minge. If your game's got some minge, on our fates will it hinge. If your game's got some minge, then Steam they shall whinge. I think minge and whinge is the winning one there. I think that's where we're looking. If your game's got some puss, we'll back out like a wuss. If your game's got some minge, it shall not be binged. Yeah, I think that's a close enough one. I'm trying to think of some ambitious words, or some really obscure slang. Look, I was going down the rude end, and I was trying to think of ones using the word cunt for vagina, and I don't have like to the curb we shall hunt. The game shows some bits. What about the kids? It's manhood. Ooh. This will at least heal us up. It's not an ideal pick. Game's got manhood, we're gonna ban good. Nice. If your game's got a phallus, we're gonna be callous. If If your game's got an anus, you're not gonna be famous. I feel so... I don't know if I feel either ashamed or proud of these puns going on as long as they have been. Welcome to What It Is Like Living with Me and Jane, by the way. Coming up with a format for puns and then repeating it ad nauseum until we have found every possible pun that a format could create for a good, like, 30-40 minutes is like a weekly occurrence for us. We'll get onto a rhythm like this and go... We'll both go quiet for, like, a minute or two and look at each other and be like... Going quiet because you're thinking of more, aren't you? It's like, I'm trying. I don't think it's a two-line rhyming pun, but I do feel like there's got to be something in the fact that coin purse is like slang that exists for a vagina. But also, you're not going to get many sales and therefore much money to go in your coin purse from the game. Like, it's not a snappy pun, but I feel like your game's got coin purse. We're not going to... If they're filling your... they're filling your coin purse in the game, they're not going to be filling your coin purse on Steam. Your game's got to clit some censorship we commit. 100% it is trying to censor queer art. That is 100% the thing that is depressing and overwhelming about it. If your game's got beef curtains, your sales will be hurting. Beef curtains and hurting? It's a stretch, but I think it works. I hate that I used the phrase beef curtains, but... Your game shows some coin purse, well yours just got a curse. Okay. If your game's got a butt, Steam won't take a cut. I like the rhyme, but it does imply, like, if you didn't know the news story, you might think, oh, sex games get to keep 100% of their revenue. Steam doesn't take their 30% on sex games. Whereas it's, like, I guess it's true to say that Steam won't take a cut. It just feels like it would be the pun for a different story. If your game's got a wiener, Steam says it ain't seen her. Decimate says, I appreciate your level of autism, by the way, Laura. I'm glad you do. The experience of me being autistic is like 10% of the time I sit there obsessively thinking of topical humor puns, and like whatever, a different percentage of the time I spend is rocking back and forth obsessively shiny hunting Pokemon because my brain's broken. You know, I'll take the 10% where I go into pun machine mode. Oh, that's rough. Your game shows some shaft, it won't make the draft. Oh, that's great. I love that. Diggersby, dig, yes. Get out of the danger zone. Does that protect you from Whirlpool? Genuinely don't know. It protects you from getting hit by another big attack, at least, I suppose. Can we take you out without another getting knocked out again? No. You didn't make it to Tapu Fini this time. Not good. There's been a couple in a row where I didn't make it past Tapu Fini. This has not been great, but we're gonna persist. We're gonna make do. No shinies. Ooh. During this run, I might introduce you to some new music I've been very much enjoying. It's another segment of Laura introduces you all to music she thinks you should be listening to because it's cool. Ooh, Grass Poison is like perfect. Gorgeist is pretty good. Oh, Taylor's fine. Take the Grovile. Garlic will do. Ish. Okay, I gotta work out my routing quickly. Showing a Stiffy. Well, that game's iffy. Oh, perfect. Grass in. We'll be able to get the poison at the end. No normal type. Okay, yeah, we got a route. Incursion is not ideal. I've been listening to a new album put out by Rebecca Sugar, creator of Steven Universe. Called... What is the album called? Lonely Magic. What is the track off of it that I've been really loving that I wanted to play? I think it's This Is a Love Song. Give me a second to check this is the track I think it is. I apologize in advance if it's kind of loud. You saw me sink to the floor. Oh yeah, it is. Cool. Let me find it somewhere I can change the volume. And turn down the Pokemon. So I can introduce you to this, quite brutal, song about an unhealthy relationship dynamic that I think is like a fascinating track. Let me chuck this on. Let me just mute and get past a stupid advert quickly. Dynamax into max will do. Alright, any moment now I'll be able to play this track.
I'll write another letter that I won't send. I'll write another letter to my only friend, that's you. If you can believe it, I'm taking all the credit for my downfall. I'm taking all the credit cause it's too hard to admit what I really needed. I'm sorry that I gave you my attention. I'm sorry that I didn't know to pull away. So grateful that you told me I'm so stupid. How else would I have known? Oh yes, this is a love song. Oh yes, this is a love song. Oh, I'm in love with the
wait for this track to kick in.
You knew I needed a friend, you swept right in. You saw me sink to the floor, I saw you grin. No, I won't come to your door, no, not again. I wanna beg your forgiveness.
This is the bit
You knew I needed
that's been really scratching an itch.
right in. Please keep your hands to yourself, that's not okay. You're putting words in my mouth, I didn't say. I wanna beg your forgiveness. I wanna beg your forgiveness. I wanna beg your forgiveness. Oh, I wanna beg your forgiveness. Oh yes, this is a love song. Oh yes, this is a love song.
Is it?
Oh, I'm in love with the way that the pull you had on me is gone. Oh
I just love this pained vocal line.
The pull you had on me is gone. The pull you had on me is gone. The pull you had on me is gone. The pull you had on me is gone.
It's a love song about no longer being trapped in the bad dynamic. I love that I'm out of the bad dynamic that kept pulling me in. Some good, healthy processing angst. Twang. Like, this track is doing so much and I'm very into it.
Oh yes, this is a love song. Oh yes, this is a love song. Oh, I'm in love with the way that the pull you had on me is gone. The pull you had on me is gone. The pull you had on me is gone. The pull you had on me is... I'll write another letter that I won't send. I'll write another letter to my only friend. That's you.
The how do we even talk about it? The subtlety of the vocal delivery, like delivering emotional nuance in the narrative, the just a little off-key ending that's the, like, am I convinced that I really believe what I'm saying? Am I actually out of it? Or do I still worry that it's going to pull me back in with that little dissonant note? Oh, the track. Also, we got some more contribution for puns in the chat. Game's got a meat lolly, that's totally folly. That's total folly. I think it works. It's a little bit of a work, but I think it works. We have... Game has some cunt, that's an automatic shunt. Roll Spider, I would, you know, yeah, you could call it a song about romantic healing, but then it wouldn't get to do the fake out of, this is a love song, haha, it's a love song about loving, not being trapped in that bad relationship. Aha, I fooled you with my semantic little game, you see. Like, if you... Calling it romantic healing would give you, like, the... Yeah, you don't get the little twist that way. Sometimes, a title of a thing is deliberately misleading for narrative impact, you see. But yeah, Lonely Magic as an album, real good. The whole album is very good. There's a couple of other really good ones on there. It's a 7-track EP, and I've been very into it. Ooh, the other thing I'm excited for, and I don't know if it's out yet, is Gerard Way, singer of My Chemical Romance, seemingly has started another new band to be in, called The Mock-Ups, which is largely made of members from another band who, I don't remember the name of this other band, I gotta check it. The other band that they are made up of is members of The Interrupters, who are a ska punk band with some good politically charged lyrics. So it seems like Gerard Way is now going to be the bassist and frontman for a band largely made up of people who do ska punk. And that's a series of words I can get behind. Oh yeah. This is... That is all of the track that currently exists from this new Gerard Way project. That, like, 15 seconds, I'm like, when are you going to drop this music? Is there gonna be like an album's worth? I'm up for hearing some new music. Rule Spider, I don't disagree with your take, but also I think that is very deliberate. It is a track that is made of deliberate dissonance. It deliberately is placing words that that feel like they deliberately clash with the emotion being shown. The insistence it's a love story. Because here's the thing, is before that reveal happens, I think you can very much have that song be a song of, I'm telling myself this is love, while clearly being in a bad relationship that like, the way you are feeling, love should not feel like this. If you are in a thing that feels like this and that makes you sound like this, you should recognize that isn't love. But people in abusive relationships often don't see that. And I think that, like, even before it's a love song about the fact that I no longer am pulled in by you, even before that, I think it's an interesting dissonance of deliberate... I'm saying with my words this is a love song while screaming about not wanting you to pull me back. Oh wow! Hello everyone! Hello everyone! Welcome Raiders, hi. I'm Laura, I'm a variety streamer here on Twitch. I am autistic and I love shiny hunting Pokemon, trying to get those rare 1 in 4,000 variant shiny Pokemon. We are currently trying to find a shiny Tapu Fini in Sword and Shield, which is not the most recent Pokemons, but like a generation before that, in something called Dynamax Adventures, where we do a bunch of raid battles and hopefully my NPC players that I have to play with pick some decent Pokemon for me to work with, because them picking a halfway decent team is completely random and largely going to determine whether I beat the Tapu Fini at the end, which then there's going to be like a 1 in 100 chance that it will have like a different coloration to it. For anyone who doesn't know me and my shiny hunting quest, I am trying to get a shiny version of every single species of Pokemon that's ever existed. That is over 1,000 species of Pokemon. Generally speaking, a Pokemon has a 1 in 4,000 chance of being shiny. 1 in 8,000 in some of the older games, and there are ways of making those odds better. But in this case, if I can get to this legendary and beat it, I'll have a 1 in 100 chance of it being shiny, which is pretty good odds. I am only 80 species away from having one of every shiny Pokemon that's ever existed. I have put too many thousands of hours of my life into collecting shiny creatures. But yes, other than that, we are talking about music tonight. We're just talking about the fact that for any of you that are people that are aware of the music of My Chemical Romance, you know, some of you may have had an emo phase in your teens or whatever. He is going to be the vocalist of a new band called The Mock-Ups, who are largely made up of members of a different band called The Interrupters, I think they're called, whose music is politically lefty ska punk, which is pretty cool. I am waiting for their first single to drop, but I am excited to hear some Gerard Way-fronted ska punk. Also, apparently I cannot drink my drink. I've just spat my drink all over myself because I'm incapable of basic activities like drinking a drink. I cannot be trusted to do basic activities. Have a good night, Artist Sim. Roll Spider says, Shellos, your English Pokemon name is good too, but I'll always prefer your French one. Is this Shellos? Beware. Honestly, in my opinion, in my experience, the French Pokemon names are way better than the English ones. The best example I have of French Pokemon names being better is Daxbun, the Dachshund bred Pokemon. The French name is Briochien. Briochien. Bread dog. Briochien. Yeah, drinking works better when I don't just, like, let it all... When it goes in my mouth and not down me is better. Briochien is my favorite French Pokemon name that is 1000% better than the English name. Undeniably so. Come on. Nope, none of you took Beware. Okay, well, we're gonna have to hope for good items. Potentially, Expert Belt. Let's hope we can Dynamax on turn 1 and try and do it this way. Okay, I can Dynamax into Max Overgrowth. Is his ally Pokemon special attack stats? No, we want the 130 damage of the Max Overgrowth if we only get 3 turns. Yeah, I'm gonna chuck on a track by the interrupters while we do this fight, just because I'm in one of those moods where I want to introduce you all to some new music. So let's chuck this down. Is this the one I was listening to earlier? She's Kerosene. It might be this one that I was kind of digging. Oh no! YouTube, stop trying to play ads at me. I'm trying to introduce people to new music that they might enjoy. Let's see what this Max Overgrowth does. Hey, Incompetent Hero. Here we go.
I'm a match, she kerosene. You know she gonna burn down everything. She an arsonist in her pastime. And I've been
I love the bit of Scar. I'm gonna pause now and talk about my feelings about Scar for a minute. If you ever were to ask me what my favorite genre of music to sit and listen to is, I don't know if I would say Scar. But if you asked me what genre of music is my favorite to see performed live, I think it is Scar. The thing I have learned the more time has gone on is that I bloody love having a good knees up to Scar. You know, I love me my Chemical Romance, but Dessa, you know, whatever. There's something about Scar where it's just like, that meme of Scar is the sound that you hear, that like a 9-year-old hears when they get extra chicken nuggets at the birthday party. It's not wrong. It is a genre that does just make me want to be like, oh, fuck yeah, everything's great, we're doing good. We did not beat the Tapu Fini. That is unfortunate. We did not get a shiny run on it. I'm going to keep this track going for a couple of minutes, though, while we restart this shiny run.
She got a history of making a scene, yeah. She telling stories, she got started like he's the executioner, but she's the queen. And he's the one whose neck is in the guillotine. And he said, I'm a match, she kerosene. You know she gonna burn down everything. She an arsonist in her pastime. And I've been burned for the last time. Whoa. I've been burned for the last time.
Because here's the thing. I know I keep interrupting. Ska is the sound of happiness. But ska... This is why I like ska punk. I like politically biting music that's like, hell yeah, I want to tear down the establishment, but also I can have a proper knees up while I do it. Is the thing. Oh god, I gotta pick my route quickly. None of this is great. I think we're gonna have to go left first.
So she starts shaking and put a victim till his heart starts breaking. No real tears, cause she don't mean it. This landscape used to be so scenic, and he can make it out if he can dream it. Rising up from the ash, he's a phoenix. I'm a match, she kerosene. You know she gon' burn down everything. She an arsonist in her pastime, and I've been burned for the last time.
To pause and talk about Scar some more. I'm not usually a person for dancing when I listen to live music. I am a stand on the front barrier, staring, maybe singing along, having a bit of a bounce, but like, I'm not a person who dances at live music. Scar is the exception. And I can tell you how much I go from 0 dancing to 1000% dancing when Scar comes on. In the last 5 years, 3 times... in none of these instances was this an announced thing that would happen. At 3 separate gigs, I have danced so hard in the front row of a Scar show that the band came and handed me a t-shirt to say thanks for dancing as hard as I did at their set. More than once they came over and were just like, hey, we played like a 90-minute set and you just fucking skanked the whole thing right at the front. Do you want a shirt? I was like, fuck yeah. That's happened on like 3 occasions in 5 years. The music moves me, you see. Okay, I might have to introduce you to one of the Scar bands that gave me a shirt because I skanked for 90 minutes at like 2 in the morning. Is it, Mad Apple Circus, that's it. Let's chuck on one of their tracks. Oh god, 7 years ago, this track. Nope. Advert, go away. Yeah, this was the first time a Scar band were like, have a shirt. You went for it.
Your own. You say there's always the next day to try things a new way, to know the unknown. Who do you think that you do this for? Sister, brother, friend, no phone call, no shots from the door. It's a feeling that brings.
Not the one I would have gone for trying to show them off. I'm trying to work out what's a good track that's gonna vibes to that band. It's been a while since I saw them. They were a good band. I can't think what track it was that is sticking in my head that I would be playing, but yeah, I do love me a good bit of ska. So yeah, you take ska punk and potentially put Jared Way on vocals, and yeah, you got my interest. Yeah, it's not a bad track. That is a good track. It's not. I was in the mood for a very specific track by that band, and I'm having a moment where I'm mentally blanking on the name of the track, and I'm like, there's one of their proper kick it up, knees up kind of tracks. I'm not saying it's not good. It's not the one I'm thinking of. Let me see. Can I find the one I'm thinking of? Is it Funk Bunker? It might be Funk Bunker. You should check out Skull Collector by Tokyo Ska Paradise Orchestra. You know what? I'll take a Scar recommendation in a moment. I want to find the one I'm thinking of from. Oh, this might be the one I was thinking of.
Yeah, who's this then?
Very
Oh,
funky.
State of it. Yo, here it is. What you want?
Yeah, you are come and get down and break a money maker. So much tequila, I need a soul shaker. Gary's in my wallet, now it's coming out later.
This band has like 4 different vocalists, depending on the track.
You sounded like I want. I'll keep my eye on you. There are 3 rules to follow. You see what you can do. There'll be a cock and wash it. Come and don't request a tune.
Don't request a tune.
Now on the DJ will box ya.
With no brow warning.
No, because I just told ya. Allow the bullshit. I really wouldn't want to break the rules.
And what?
And you're 6 foot under.
Alright, mate, chill a bit. I'm not committing murder. Go in, get piss a bit and walk home with a burger.
Call a couple English queens and we'll take this no further.
Jammy records on the tip.
Come in the fun bunker.
A fun fucker, we're taking the dog. The double pounds, little pals get smuggled in. Tap drive's got a hit of the piss. A resident rebel is low, give it a miss.
This is the one.
Fucker, we're taking the dog. The double pounds, little pals get smuggled in. Tap drive's got a hit of the piss. A resident rebel is low. I'm in the market to interact. Head in the back with the grins and flags. Check my swagger. I'll have a double D&T, then it's right to the front to find the ladies. It's gonna be going up. Oh, the collar's on. Oh, I got the ripper and I'm ready for the lift up. Got the chat and I'm killing the charm. When it's first about and then it's in the yard. Now I'm syllable fishing, I'm gonna live for a go. Other blokes affecting a towel line from the hedgerow. Clear lacquer with a flawless face. I got the Donny in the wallet, but he's well out of date. I'm pepper in a better kit, that's all the cover I need. The fact is, I'm the worst of fiends. I'm out for the game, chase for the fame. Flawless of fame in the face, just wasted. Fucker, we're taking the dog. The double pass, little pals get smuggled in. Tap drive's got a hit of the piss.
It bounces between funky Scar and more rock punk. Right? This is the kind of shit I love. Is Scar that walks that kind of line. That has a little bit of like a rock music undertone, just like that bass and low tom build. Great anticipation build on it. They really hold it. The crescendo is You can see how that build, everyone's pent up for a good mock. Yeah, this is Funk Bunker by Mad Apple Circus. Funk Bunker is a great name. So yeah, that's Mad Apple Circus. They got some great tracks. Funk Bunker is the one I was thinking of that, if I remember right, I believe it was what they opened their set with, and it was a great fucking get you in the mood for a knees up kind of track. I've probably talked about this band before. I've probably talked about Big Red Ass before, who are a ska band, but they're a very specific kind of ska band that I want to talk about, which is, they're a ska band that specifically plays music designed to be played at people off their nut on drugs at 2 in the morning. So their deal is that most of their songs are written to be lyrically fucking stupid. As a bit of a joke, they play on the crowd. They play a lot of, like, middle of the night backroom gigs at, like, 1, 2 in the morning. And the goof of the band is, when you see them, you stumble into the back room and hear them playing live, how many tracks does it take you to realize that they're singing absolute fucking nonsense? Such as their song, Oyster Card, the chorus of which is just, Oyster Card, Oyster Card. Or their song, Hat, where the chorus is the word hat sung a lot of times. The last group was Mad Apple Circus. The one I'm currently talking about is Big Red Ass. Let me see if I can find Big Red Ass Hat. I can only find a live performance of Hat. It's probably somewhere on live. Is this a decent recording? Let's see if this is a halfway decent recording.
Shall we?
1, 2, 3, 4, hang your trophy by the door. 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't need no rhyme or reason. Tell me where it's at. Make some shenanigans, bitches and hooligans. Time to doff your hat. Everybody doff your hat. Hat, 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 hat. What made you see that? Everybody doff your hat. You get the gist with Big Red Ass. It's very silly songs. The gimmick being, how long does it take you to notice you're bouncing along to nonsense? How long until you are on that side of the joke? This is not gonna be great. I don't think we're beating Tapu Fini on this attempt. I don't think this one's gonna work. We had a really shit selection of Pokemon to pick from. Am I Tapu finished yet? No. It's been like 3 runs in a row where we didn't beat the Tapu Fini, which is real bad on my end. Oh, I need to put my phone on charge when I remember. Acrobatics. Don't think I'm holding an item. Acrobatics might be the way to go. Hey, the Goku Man, how has my day been? It's been pretty good. It is my birthday. I ate a lot of pizza and cookies and cinnamon buns and finished writing my accessibility review for Ghost of Yote that will be up in like 10 days, and I've got some online store credit to use at some point this week, and my mum bought me tickets to go to Bridge Command so I can go have some laughing video game Star Trek roleplay space adventures in London, which is cool. Oh, I've not shown this off yet. Is it accessible? Yeah, it's surprisingly accessible, Bridge Command. Bridge Command... Oh, sorry, is Ghost of Yote. Sorry, the one that I talked about doing accessibility review. I can't tell you if Ghost of Yote is accessible or not until the 25th of September at 2 PM UK, which is when the review embargo lifts. Until then, I cannot say anything other than I appreciate that Sony sent me Ghost of Yote like 3 weeks ahead of embargo, which is really good for having enough time to do a thorough accessibility review. The Go Command says, who are you taking to Bridge Command? I will probably go on a visit with Jane. I could, in theory, go twice by myself on, like, Thursday night, but I will probably do 1 visit with Jane. I promised my mum that I will send her reports of how Bridge Command goes. I will send her a little mission write-up of how the mission goes. I know that there are some people here who haven't heard me talk about Bridge Command before, so I'll explain what that is. There is a thing in London called Bridge Command that is basically go spend 2 hours doing a live-action Star Trek adventure. They have, like, 2 fully made starship sets under Vauxhall Bridge in London, where you go and do, like, it's part video game, part LARP, part live interactive theatre. You have up to 14 people on a starship at different desks doing different roles, like being the captain or engineer or the comms officer or on the weapons or whatever. And you go through like a 2-hour adventure where like you'll be getting calls from other ships in space that'll show up on the view screen, and you're like trying to put out fires before the ship breaks down, and you might get visited by someone from another faction in space and they'll board your ship. Bring her along. I did consider asking my mum if she wants to come along. I'm considering it. I might invite my mum to come on a Bridge Command. Trek with the serial numbers filed off, as far as I know. I mean, basically, I genuinely am considering the idea of like, do I invite my mum to go? I've not spent time with my mum in a little while, and it would be an excuse to spend time together. I don't know how she would get on with being on a ship in Star Trek. I feel like she could be a good comms officer. But yeah, I've not shown off yet. So I've talked about this before. I have earned some, like, you know, ranks within Bridge Command. I've talked about this before. I have made it to the rank of Lieutenant. I have my campaign star, but also medals in what is it? General Commendation, Diplomacy, Military, and Science. So 4 of the 6 main medal categories I could have been awarded. Let's go with Grass and Electric. Yeah, so let's stick to this side. But the idea of throwing someone into a medium they're entirely unfamiliar with, I find quite funny. I threw my mum for her... It was her birthday or Mother's Day a couple of years ago. She'd never done an escape room, and I booked her an escape room for her birthday. Sometimes you throw a person into a medium they don't know, and they have a great time. What am I doing? Right, let's grab this and fire. What was I saying? Yes. So I have these medals, and when I show up to Bridge Command, like, they give me my medals, which are like little fraying fabric badges that I pin on to the session. But I followed someone's lead who's at Bridge Command. I did treat myself to making slightly fancier versions of the medals. I found a company that makes like little cheap enamel badges, and I got them done in like 2-tone with no logo on them, so that they are the color designs of the medals I've earned. And let's see if I can find an image to put on stream for a second. Oh yes, alongside the other silly thing that me and Jane recently did, which was we made a quote-unquote UCN credit chip, like space currency to use at the bar there. And what it is a hollowed out floppy disk with a compartment to slot a bank card into for contactless payments. So it looks like we're using a big space component to like tap and do our payments, which amused me greatly. Yeah, catch this. Roll Spider says, not even with the numbers filed off, but with the full admission of, look, we don't have the right thing, we still have the skills and the gear to make one of those game experiences please go anyway. Yeah, kinda. Can I find this image of my my new little medals I've done up that I am quite happy with how they turned out? The medals are kind of visible there. Space currency, then it can't be Star Trek. Yes. Bridge Command's space future hasn't yet reached the point of post-capitalism. It's not yet the utopian space future. We've made it to space, but there is wars over gravium, which is like the big space fuel, but also like there's a lot of faction politics still going on in space. Like, humanity is in space, and they're trying to create like a space community. You've got like the United Confederation of Circumsolar and Terra Nations, the UCTCN, who signed the what's their pact called? The second Treaty of the Adamus Belt like 2 years ago. But there's a bunch of pirate factions that like are not part of the UCN that are out there. They're loosely collected under the Pirate Council, but like humanity hasn't quite made it past capitalism yet, and it's still like we have the mining faction and the food producing faction, and they're cornering those as their niches in space a little bit still. If we're talking about Star Trek Enterprise era, humans are still in a transitioning period away from money in the lore. Oh yeah, the shouts for these Pokemon are always really loud when the raids start. Are you intending on getting the Donkey Kong Bonanza DLC? I've been having a lot of fun with it. I have it downloaded. I'm going to play some of it tomorrow so that I can talk about it on Pogposition Wednesday. I've not started playing it, but I have it downloaded. But yes, let me find. Not the best picture in the world. Here is my UCN credit chip, but also at the top you can see my three of my 4 medals. I don't yet have my science one, but top left is general commendation, top middle is military, and top right is diplomacy. So I have 3 shiny new medals to go on my uniform for good deeds done in space in my fake space adventures. That's been fun. Hopefully, yeah, one of these picks up Grobar. That's good. '90s retro future. That's it. We're leaning. Me and Jane are leaning into the. You go far back enough, and a thing can look a retro thing can look futuristic again. We're going retro future. So yes, I have. I think only 2 medals I don't have within Bridge Command, which is intelligence, which is going to be a hard one to get, and medical. Medical's hard to get because the medical position is not a dedicated role on any of the ships. One of the 2 ships has a med bay, but it's only sometimes necessary for missions. Like, I've seen one mission in my time at Bridge Command that if I had gone and done the medical room stuff on that mission, that might have been my opportunity for a medical badge. Intelligence is basically, I would have to do something that impresses UCN intelligence, which is basically like the space CIA. And I have actively been working to undermine the space CIA every time I get a chance, if I'm honest. Kindly get yourself hurt, please. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I don't have a great deal of trust for UCN intelligence, and have, at times, not necessarily taken opportunities I could have done to please them. So I don't know when there will be an opportunity to impress UCN intelligence that I will want to do and won't be morally opposed to doing, and try and cover up a little bit. None of this is good. Oh, I'm going to electric terrain this, which is going to help the Luxray. Just think of how you'd undermine them and spin that into helping them. Yeah, that's the thing I'm looking for. Unfortunately, the one time I did something that UCN intelligence liked, it was also very beneficial to the cause of science, and that was when I got my science medal. I'm like, that's great and all, but I think this is the only time I'm ever going to do something nice for UCN intelligence. Raw Spider says, speaking of retro future, hearing that the Spotify bosses confused that the enshittification of their service has soured Gen Alpha so badly that now teenagers are buying MP3 players all over again. Oh, that's brilliant. I genuinely like having a dedicated audio device. I'm not the kind of person who thought I would have a dedicated music player on me person. Specifically until I started going swimming regularly with my portable swim underwater swimming headphones. Which are just like a waterproof MP3 player. And that's been really useful for the swimming. But I've sometimes just gone, I could just keep this in my bag so that if my phone is running low on battery and I don't want to drain it, but I still want to listen to something, I've got a little very tiny music player and headphones shoved in my bag, and it's generally worked out pretty well. Yeah, Terra says, even in Star Trek, Section 31 wasn't something that was supposed to be cool. Yeah, that's the vibe. It's like, Section 31 are doing their secret off-the-books work, and it's very important work, but, like, I don't necessarily wanna... There are some secrets that I don't trust Section 31 in Star Trek with knowing, because I think they would abuse the knowledge. Okay. This is not the best team. We got a grass and 2 electric types. I don't know how many times we've been knocked out on the way here, so I don't know how many moves we can get away with. How many knockouts we can affect. Okay, not effective, very effective, but it was a critical. I don't know if I can afford to get knocked out in this fight, honestly. Wish there was a way to check how many knockouts I've had and how many I'm allowed right now. I need to get switched to Dynamax mode as quickly as possible so I can up my damage output. Okay, first knockout. Okay, we can't afford a second knockout. Yeah, Raw Spider says, the entire lore around Section 31 is that, although everyone can recognize they can be and are useful, that necessary evil is very much aptly named, that secret branch of Starfleet goes rogue way too frequently for comfort. Yeah, like, I'll give you, like, a low spoilers example of my thoughts about UCN intelligence and Bridge Command. Let's say there was a faction that was basically, like, peace-loving space hippies, and they very carefully kept the location of their home planet very secret because they don't want more war-minded species raiding their home and taking advantage of them. And let's say I went on a mission to recover a stolen datapad that had the location of their home on it, and get it back to the lovely space hippies. UCN intelligence would probably be like, hey, while you've got it, you could just share that data with us. We promise we won't misuse it. And that would maybe seem a little sketchy to me, and maybe I would find a way to sneak that data back to the space hippies without it getting seen by UCN intelligence on the way. Like, maybe UCN intelligence would use it for useful purposes, but, like, I don't trust Section 31 not to, like, be planting false flag operatives inside the space hippies, like, marrying space hippies, pretending to be space hippies themselves, all while undermining them from within as a shadow government or shit like that, you know. Hypothetically, I am certainly not admitting on camera to lying to UCN intelligence to sneak that datapad back to the Terranovans. I would not do that. We failed to recover the datapad is what happened. If we'd successfully recovered the datapad, of course we would have given it to UCN intelligence. You know, clearly being motivated by getting an intelligence medal would have been enough to convince me to hand that data over, obviously. But no, what a shame we couldn't get them. Oh, such a shame. Okay, can I survive long enough to Okay, Grovar can survive Moon Blast. But Laura, I heard the space hippies were communists. Yeah, that's kind of why I love them. I love the space communists. Oh, I cannot afford any of my Pokemon to get knocked out. We are so close. One good attack on Tapu Fini will take it out. Oh, so close, so close. Can I get a shiny roll on Tapu Fini? Oh, Tapu Fini missed. Okay, we're cool. That was way closer than it should have been, but I can shiny roll Tapu Fini and see whether we get the shiny. Come on, this is probably the last chance we have to get the shiny Tapu Fini on my birthday. Come on, Pokemon, you want to be nice to me, right? Let's go for one more round tonight. I can't talk about how I got most of my medals in Bridge Command because highly classified missions. I can talk about one of them. I can talk about the General Commendation. The General Commendation was a result. Out of character, I believe the reason I got given the General Commendation medal, the General You Did a Good Job medal, was because I was captain on a mission where my crew was almost entirely made up of drunken, straight white able-bodied cis men on a stag do, who were, put it politely, a little rowdy. Like, they were fine, they were nice enough. They were the kind of people who were more interested in drunkenly having a laugh than they were in the mission, and weren't particularly interested in listening to a trans woman authoritatively tell them what to do. And to my credit, I got that crew in order. I got them on task. I got us through that mission successfully. I think I was honestly quite impressed with my ability to get them on task. Yeah, we can do this. And I'm pretty sure that's why I got the General Commendation, was a well done for handling this group of rowdy cis men. Well done for making a stag do what you told them. Okay, Dynamax Befuddle is nice. Your crew was made of mostly Kirks. One of them was dressed as Picard, but was not acting very Picard. He was dressed as Picard, complete with a bald cap. It was a crew of Kirks, but even a crew of Kirks. It was a crew of Kirks that none of them wanted to volunteer to be captain, because I fully expected the guy dressed as Picard to either put himself forward for captain or his mates to all like go on and make him be captain. None of them volunteered to be captain, but they all kind of, once they got in there, were like, oh, I could have done that. I could have been captain. I want to try and act like I'm the captain now. And it's like, well, you didn't. I gave you a solid 30 seconds before I volunteered. I did everything I could to let you volunteer to captain, but you didn't captain, so, Papillusion. Oh! Butterfree's called Papillusion. Oh, that's a very cute name. Yeah, it's a bunch of people who didn't volunteer to be Kirk and then kind of wanted to be Kirk while in non-Kirk positions. Like, they wanted to be captain from the, I don't know, the Beams desk. It's like, well, no, you know, I'll let you have input, but obviously, like, yeah, someone step forward to be captain, you let the captain make the calls. But that's it. I do like being non-captain positions. Like, I end up falling into captain a lot because I'm happy to be captain, but I like doing the comms desk, being over the radio to the other ships. I like dock and drone, where I'm basically just piloting a little fleet of combat ships of my own. Good. Yeah, there's like 10 more minutes. Daniel Aldridge, hey, how goes the shiny hunting? I'm gonna have to go this way if I'm gonna get the grass type, which means going past Diggersby, which I don't really want. I have picked up like 7 shiny Pokemon on the way to trying to do this shiny hunt. I've yet to find the shiny Tapu Fini. But you never know, maybe we'll find it in the next like 10 minutes as a little birthday surprise for me. Giga Drain will do. Giga Drain will do. Ooh, it seems like we've got a state of play presentation coming soon. Don't know exact date. Seems like we got one coming in the next couple of weeks. Probably coming this month. Let's see what Sony's been up to. Okay, we've had at least one of our knockouts already, which is a bad start. So close. Okay. Please none of my NPCs pick up Diggersby. Diggersby is a really bad fit for the Tapu Fini we're gonna fight. I know one of you's gonna pick it up. Don't be the one who already has Raichu. Be one of the ones who has a suboptimal one where, like, we're gonna try and replace what you have anyway. Like, yeah, could have been better, but not the worst. We'll take it. It's not gonna be a great grass type. It's Cherim. If Cherim can replace Diggersby, we have an alright team. Part of me expected their next set of play not to be in this month. My suspicion is they wouldn't want to do a state of play until after Ghost of Yotei comes out. But I guess they might do one to be like, and here's a little trailer for, like a cinematic trailer for Ghost of Yotei, and it's out like next week. Get hype. Reminder, it's coming out, like something like that. If the Cherim replaces the Diggersby, we might be on an okay run. I think only one heart missing. Okay. Okay. The Persimmon? The Parsimian? Not ideally what I would have wanted there, but I think we can make it work. I think the Parsimian is probably the weak link here. I want to get Dynamax as quickly as I can, but that's a few turns away still, which is not good. Assist. Okay, charging up for Solar Beam. Probably a decent call. As long as you don't get knocked out before you have a chance to cast it. Next turn, I can Gigantamax. I've not had anyone knocked out during the Tapu Fini fight itself. I think means we have like 2 safe knockouts. Well, this is where I'll find out how many safe knockouts I do or don't have. Yeah, we've got one more safe knockout, and then I think that's when we're fucked. Yeah, you got knocked out before you could do Solar Beam. That was the risk of it, Charim. Okay. I can at least start doing... Oh, big Butterfree. There's 4 minutes left of my birthday. We could get Shiny Tapu Fini on the birthday. I don't think it's likely, but you never know. Can't afford to have 2 things knocked out this round. I think I can survive this one. Okay. Don't charge the Solar Beam. We're not going to survive past this turn. So close. Okay. Are you Shiny Tapu Fini? Let's find out. I mean, I could keep going till like 6 AM for birthday shiny rules if I wanted a rules lawyer, but I'm also not going to shiny hunt much more in the next 6 hours that I'm sleeping, probably. I gotta make a cutoff where I will go to bed. Yep. Gave it a go. Well, thank you everyone for joining me for this little shiny hunting stream. It has been super lovely. I hope people have had a nice evening. I'll be back streaming on Wednesday. Maybe more shiny hunting, maybe Silksong, maybe Yakuza 0. We'll see where the vibes are at on the night. Thank you very much everyone for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. I'll